10 bizarre objects found on beaches. Throughout the long term, a collection of odd things has been found on the world's seashores. Some have been living animals, others, dead marine creatures, still others, lifeless things. An abnormal ocean froth has washed shorewards, conveying an assortment of ordinary things with it that beachgoers don't see on the seashore each day. Cast-off housings and surprisingly a phallic creature out of Sigmund Freud's most noticeably awful bad dream have additionally washed or crept shorewards. As this rundown of 10 peculiar items found on seashores demonstrates, the secrets of the profound are weird, for sure. On February 22, 2021, Montana Dao Paibal chose to take a stroll on the seashore in Nakhon Si Thammarat Territory, Thailand. There, she saw a piece of coral. Gathering it as a keepsake, she investigated her disclosure, and tracked down that the unusual article was sparkling. She shone the light from her telephone on the abnormal example, and, when its red tone lit up, she puzzled over whether the article could be a shooting star. After she got back, she saw that the surprising mineral had changed tone. Rather than red, it was presently purple. Neither Montana nor her companions have had the option to distinguish the peculiar article. She trusts a specialist could mention to her what she found during her stroll on the seashore. Blue dragons. It's light blue, and it would appear that a reptile, the dull blue tinge on its back illustrating its body. The marine creature's feet are very unique about those of a reptile, however, appearing to detonate in odd starbursts, the spiky beams of which vary long from each other. Even though it's normally called a blue-winged serpent, researchers know it is Glaucus atlanticus, a sort of nudibranch, a gastropod without a shell or genuine gills. Ordinarily, the blue mythical beast drifts in the sea, however the breeze now and again blows an entire armada of them onto Australian seashores. Other than the 3-centimeter-long Glaucus atlanticus, the 13-centimeter-long Glaucilla marginate, additionally a nudibranch that intently looks like its more modest cousin and is similarly called a blue mythical serpent, infrequently blows ashore. Both the more modest and the bigger blue mythical beasts have a place with the plouston, which lives part of the way in the water and halfway noticeable all around and depend on the breezes to convey them places. Although blue mythical serpents can't swim against sea flows, the minuscule animals can twirl themselves around and perform somersaults by sucking air into themselves. The air frames an air pocket inside them, helping them stay above water and to remain potential gain down. Despite their confined versatility, blue mythical beasts are hunters in their own little world, benefiting from blue catches, states of hydroids, and blue bottles, provinces of polyps, while depending on their shading to mix in with the sea's surface and dodge assaults by different hunters. Gooseneck barnacles. To Martin Green, who saw it while travelling with his family in Carnarvon, North Wales, the odd item his significant other Gemma discovered looked like driftwood. At the point when he analysed it all the more cautiously, nonetheless, Green found that the thing was covered with a huge number of tentacled ocean animals. To him, it resembled something not of this world. The internet search that Green and his child directed settled the secret of the marine creature's character. Gemma had discovered gooseneck barnacles. Green likewise made another disclosure: his better half's find was significant. A delicacy in Spain and Portugal, gooseneck barnacles were worth £25, 34 United States dollars and 82 cents, each. Green assessed that the driftwood would yield around 2,000 of the barnacles, not an awful day's catch. Ocean foam. The unusual ocean froth that washed shorewards on Australia's seashores in New South Wales in December 2020 was a blessing that continued giving. Tempests stirred up the blend of seawater, green growth, salts, fats and toxins that made the thick layer of froth that spread over the outside of the water. Strange in itself, the froth likewise brought an assortment of other odd items to the seashores, including destructive, ocean snakes, Goliath insects, trees, logs, and even a large portion of a cow. A canine must be saved from the froth, and specialists caution sightseers and local people to avoid these seashores and try not to swim at all expense to guarantee their well-being. Unidentified carcass. Was the shocking body that washed onto a Mexican seashore in February 2020 a dolphin? If it was absolutely a bizarre one. It had no eyes, and its teeth were any longer, more bent, and keener than those of dolphins' common short, gruff, just marginally bent teeth. What's more, dolphins, obviously, have eyes. Maybe the baffling animal that washed aground at Destiladeros, in the western Mexican territory of Jalisco, was an eel. Its lower body needed blades and accidents and was much smaller than that of a dolphin's anatomy. While these suppositions are sensible, nobody, including anglers, could distinguish the corpse with any assurance. Its absence of eyes recommended that the ocean animal may have come from the profundities of the ocean, maybe from the 1,000-meter profound marine region in Puerto Vallarta, even though, assuming this is the case, nobody knew how the creature might have been conveyed onto the shore from such a profundity. Executed, carcass. During her tidy-up of a seashore in Perdido Bay, in November 2020, a lady recognized uniquely as Kathleen discovered more than junk or garbage. She experienced a headless, barnacle-encrusted cadaver, which she answered to Ocean Hour, the charitable natural gathering with whom she was accomplishing humanitarian effort. A spectator had effectively advised the police of the shocking object. The casualty, Kathleen saw, had been beheaded, or so she'd thought. Luckily, albeit the carcass unquestionably looked human, specialists discovered that it was, truth be told, a life-sized model. Its source and the measure of time that it had been in the water remain secrets. Ocean pork. The eyes, the mouth, and a segment of the face and head could be perceived in the unusual mass that the ocean saved on the sands of Urangan Beach in Hervey Bay, southern Queensland, Australia, in February 2020. The one who found it posted a photo of her find on Facebook. However, none of the individuals from the online media gathering could distinguish the remaining parts. They concurred just that the revelation was not a piece of a stonefish, since stonefish have harsh skin. However, the animal the lady found and shot had smooth flesh. Group individuals took a few wounds at recognizing the protuberance, wandering such estimates as delicate coral, ambergris, shark feces, and surprisingly a whale's placenta. Even Professor Sandy Degnan, of the University of Queensland's School of Biological Science, didn't know what the mass was, even though she speculated it was likely ocean pork, which she portrayed as a sort of ocean spurt, identified with the conjovois, alleged as a result of its inclination to spurt out water. Fishermen, she added, destroy the animals and utilize the creature's guts as a fishing lure. Hoodwinker. Even though they are portrayed differently, one portrayal of the hoodwinker appears nearest to its real appearance, a tremendous skimming head. Adding with blades would make the image much more complete and accurate. Hearing of the weird ocean animal on February 19, 2019, after it washed aground on the seashore at Coal Oil Point Reserve, close to Santa Barbara, California, protection expert Jessica Nielsen posted photos of its remains on the Nature Holds Facebook page, where the photos got the attention of UC Santa Barbara's Professor Thomas Turner. Visiting the site, he transferred his own photos of the ocean animal on the iNaturalist social platform. In Australia, an analyst advised sea life researcher Marianne Nygaard, thinking that the body was that of a fish she'd found and named the hoodwinker. Adequately sure it was a hoodwinker, she affirmed, later checking her distinguishing proof through hereditary testing. A type of sunfish, the logical name for which is Mola tecta, the hoodwinker is basic to tropical and calm sea waters. Coming up to 8 feet long, it can gauge a few thousand pounds. Its appearance on a California seashore bewildered researchers since the hoodwinker has seldom been seen in the northern hemisphere. Was it a wanderer? Was the animal's apparently unexpected affinity for significant distance venture to every part of the aftereffect of the warming of seas because of environmental change? Were changes in sea flows conveying the hoodwinker's food source, jellyfish, to new pieces of the sea, making the hoodwinkers follow? For the present, these inquiries stay unanswered secrets. Worm casings. The delicate cylinders appear as though twigs frozen in ice. The little, shiny fiber-like articles don't cover tree limbs, however, they wash up on Oregon seashores. The unstuck shells of cellophane worms, Spicatopterus costarum, are normally known as tube worm housings. As Tiffany Booth of Seaside Aquarium clarifies, cellophane worms live beneath the low tide line of sandy seashores, where they build and live inside the cylinders, which become encrusted with sand, and are washed shorewards and dispersed along the seashore by surf, flows and upwellings. Coastwatchers Fawn Custer called attention to that the cellophane worms, which feel like hair, are consistently present. On occasion, under specific conditions, they are uncovered and dispersed coastal by the activity of waves. Ordinarily, the modest worms suck in their food, smidgens of earlier living matter, through their cylinders, which rise near the outside of the sand. When their cylinders are disengaged by surf or flows, the worms emit a sort of goo that in the long run solidifies into another cylinder. Ocean penis. The priapulids are perhaps the most strange ocean animals at any point to wash aground on any seashore, any place. Because it resembled the phallus, the unsegmented,